Alright guys, so I finished carving around these boulders for the color block, and I was clearing it at home. And today's a nice day. It's not too cold out, and I figured I'd take you out to the park and do some clearing outdoors on a picnic table. And I got here and set up my camera, and I forgot my wooden mallet. So I'm going to be using a rock to be driving this chisel through. I got a couple chisels here, smaller one and a larger one. Let's see how this works with a trusty old boulder to clear the boulders. Seems to be working well. So when you're doing this kind of clearing, you just want to make sure you don't get too close to your delicate carving. Kind of keep away a little bit. And because this is Shina plywood, there's two grains. There's the top grain, which is the direction's going this way, and then underneath is a ply, another kind of wood. I think it's birch, Baltic birch, and that's running the other length. So you can spin your block, and now this is more carving for the grain that's underneath. Yeah, this rock seems to be working really good. Pretty nice. Try this larger chisel here. See how this works. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I'm kind of liking this. Rock. It's a good tool. Nice. Yeah, so you just keep working your way around the design. And this rock is doing this kind of work with this rock. It's a good workout for my biceps. As a reminder, I'm leaving these edges on in case I want to run this through a press. Nice even pressure with the bed of the press. Shina plywood is fun to carve on the top surface, but when you get down into these plies, it's not my favorite wood to carve. So come outside to the fresh air, do a little bit of carving, changes things up a little bit. Plus my neighbors don't go crazy with all the pounding in my apartment in New York City. But it's fun doing it with the rock. chisels again. So you can see you can take that whole layer of ply off with it, one stroke there. The only problem is my hand is cold, so I need a glove. Which I have one here. That should be better. Some dirty work gloves. And we just can keep continuing here. I got here and unpacked all my stuff. I'm looking in my bag and I'm like, oh no, I forgot my wooden mallet, my persuader. I'm gonna have to go home. And then I was like, well, maybe I could just grab a rock. It's working out quite well, I must say. I'm going to drive this smaller chisel through the center of all these, relieve, more of a relief cut or a channel, because I don't want to damage any of these areas. Just keep going down the line. This is fun. This is more enjoyable than doing it in my house. Worried about my neighbors complaining that I'm making too much noise. The only thing is that it's kind of eating away at the end of my chisel, but that's alright. Can always make a new handle. I saw this piece coming up here, so right there. Let's get rid of that. Cool. The only problem is this table's too low. And this is hurting my back because I'm bending over. I started carving the key block last night after I was finished with this. And I'm using American cherry. And it's some very fine lines around these shapes of these rocks. These lines are really small, and I have to be really careful and carve very concentrated when I'm carving those lines, because that American cherry, especially cross grain, it likes to chip out. So I'm going to see how it goes. I think I've carved the first two, but man, I have to be really careful. I have to keep my chisel really sharp, my knife, and I just have to be really cautious and in control the whole time. So it's a good challenge. I thought this would be easy, but it ends up being quite a challenge. Especially using primitive tools. So I just keep rotating the block. Make sure I don't clear my Kento areas. Yeah. Put one right down the middle. Each of these first. See how that top ply just will snap away. So you really got to be careful with this shin of plywood. I don't want to go too crazy here. A little bit deeper on these. I mean, this is primitive work, right? Carving wood with a rock in the winter, outdoors. I'm loving this. This is ideally where I'd like to be working on a regular basis, outdoors. Not for everything, but I can do a lot of things outdoors. I'm in a public park. People are walking their dogs by, and they're like thinking I'm chopping this picnic table up for firewood or something. I don't know. Who knows what they're thinking. And then they come over here and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm carving a wood block with a rock." They may question my sanity if they came over here and saw what I was doing. close to being happy here. I don't want to get too detailed here. Save the rest for my bullnose chisels. Just wanted to get the majority cleared away. This is kind of hurting my back now, bending over and working. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So here we are. I can get more detailed here if I wanted to. Some of these pieces. But I think that's good for now. I'm happy with that. So I hope you liked this episode outside at the park on the picnic table with my trusty rock. And hope you're enjoying this process and this project. Again, we're carving rocks with rocks. Thanks for watching.